Hist in News Daily is your go-to podcast for a daily dose of history. Each episode dives into significant events, births, and deaths that occurred on this day in history. From pivotal moments in world history to intriguing anecdotes about famous figures, we bring the past to life in an engaging and informative format. I'm Chris Bernard. Stay informed and entertained with new episodes released every day, keeping you connected to history regularly.
Here are 15 significant historical events that occurred on June 4. 1783. The Montgolfier brothers' first hot air balloon flight. Joseph and Jacques Montgolfier launched their first hot air balloon in Annonay, France. This event marked the beginning of human flight. 1812. Louisiana admitted as the 18th U.S. state. Louisiana became the 18th state to join the United States of America, expanding the young nation's territory and influence. 1913. Suffragette Emily Davison fatally injured. Emily Davison, a British suffragette, stepped in front of King George V's horse at the Epsom Derby to draw attention to the women's suffrage movement. She died from her injuries 4 days later. 1917. The First Pulitzer Prizes Awarded. The First Pulitzer Prizes were awarded in journalism and literature, establishing a prestigious recognition for excellence in these fields. 1940. Dunkirk evacuation ends. Operation Dynamo, the evacuation of Allied soldiers from Dunkirk, France, during World War II, ended with over 338,000 troops successfully evacuated to Britain. 1942. Battle of Midway begins. The Battle of Midway, a crucial naval battle in the Pacific theater of World War II, began. The U.S. Navy's decisive victory significantly weakened the Japanese fleet. 1944. Rome liberated by Allied forces during World War II. Allied forces liberated Rome from German occupation, marking a significant victory in the Italian campaign. 1961. Vienna Summit. U.S. President John F. Kennedy and Soviet Premier Nikita Khrushchev met in Vienna to discuss Cold War tensions, including the situation in Berlin and nuclear arms. 1989. Tiananmen Square massacre. Chinese troops and security police stormed Tiananmen Square in Beijing, brutally suppressing a pro-democracy protest and killing hundreds, possibly thousands, of demonstrators. 1998. Terry Nichols sentenced for Oklahoma City bombing. Terry Nichols was sentenced to life in prison for his role in the 1995 Oklahoma City bombing, which killed 168 people and injured hundreds more. 2001. Gyanendra becomes King of Nepal following the royal massacre. Prince Gyanendra ascended to the throne of Nepal after the deaths of King Birendra and other royal family members. 2004. Marvin Heemeyer's bulldozer rampage in Granby, Colorado. Marvin Heemeyer used a modified bulldozer to demolish several buildings in a revenge rampage. Heemeyer died by suicide during the incident. 2009. Barack Obama's Cairo speech. U.S. President Barack Obama delivered a significant speech in Cairo, Egypt, aimed at improving relations between the United States and the Muslim world. 2010. SpaceX launches first Falcon 9 rocket. SpaceX successfully launched its first Falcon 9 rocket, paving the way for future advancements in private space exploration and commercial spaceflight. 2020. Black Lives Matter protests. Widespread protests continued across the United States and around the world in response to the murder of George Floyd, calling for an end to systemic racism and police brutality. These events reflect a range of significant moments in history, from scientific achievements and political milestones to social movements and military actions.
Uncover lesser-known facts and intriguing anecdotes about historical events and figures that may surprise and inspire you. By engaging with history on a daily basis, you'll develop a stronger connection to the world and its rich tapestry of events and personalities. You can find Hist in News Daily on popular podcast platforms like Apple, Spotify, and Google Podcasts. Subscribe today to start your journey through history, one day at a time. I'm Chris Bernard. Thank you for listening to our Daily Today in History podcast. Remember to subscribe to our podcast and follow us on YouTube for updates, behind-the-scenes content, and discussions about history's impact on our world today. Be sure to tune in tomorrow and find out more today in history.